The game's got a new face. Get used to me, cause I ain't going nowhere for a while. I'm here.
Welcome back to Man Answers Television on the NASCA Network. We're here with our honored guest today, Ms. Cassandra Tyndale and Ms. Yvette Sokolow. And I want to ask Ms. Tyndale, what are some of the inspirational activities or events that drove you down the path of creating the Women's Straight Talk Network?
Well, one of the things that truly inspired me was my own experience. And I say that because for a while I couldn't even talk about my experience or my ordeal or the issues that were involved with me having cancer. I consider myself a cancer survivor today, but believe me, the scars of that ordeal, they stay with you. They're deeply rooted scars that sometimes, just are hard to really, just heal from.
Sure.
So I realized that myself, I couldn't talk about it for a while. I just wanted to bury it. I wanted to kill it again, and I wanted to bury it over and over again. And I just wanted to leave it in the past. I guess I was afraid that if I talked about it, I would bring it back up again. I wanted to just leave it where it was at and not think about it ever again. So I knew that if I felt this way, that there had to be other women out there that felt the same way. Also, the fact that like I said, there's scars. We're left with deeply rooted scars. Physical scars, emotional scars, and even psychological scars. I myself had to undergo a mastectomy, that meaning that my breast was removed. So now I thought about how do other women feel? Do they feel the same way that I do? Because I have to look in the mirror every day. How do women see themselves? How do they feel about themselves? And it was very hard and it was difficult. So these are the things that I want to inspire women to talk about, to release, so that they can heal and move on, because there is life after cancer.
So one of the things I want our viewers to recognize, and this is one of the phenomenal things about our guest today, candid, straightforward discussion on not only their experiences, but there's also what I would consider a residual effect emotionally. When we had a chance to talk before we came on air, you brought up the point that women don't necessarily talk enough. There's certain things and certain reasons where they feel justified in almost keeping their, cancer diagnosis or treatment, for lack of a better term, in the closet. Let's talk about some of the risks associated with that behavior, not just physically, but mentally, and some recommendations that both of you would have for women who are apprehensive about talking about their own personal ordeal with cancer, and how organizations such as the Women's Straight Talk Network and the work you're doing with the Pink Panther parties, how these organizations can really help these women in terms of their own personal journeys of overcoming this very, very difficult illness.
Well, we know that in the past that it has been a very difficult subject for women to talk about in the beginning. Today, it's more prevalent that women are coming out and they're letting you know that they have been diagnosed with breast cancer or any other form of cancer. Because at Women's Straight Talk Network, we're not just targeting breast cancer, we're targeting all cancer. And not only cancer, because there are other traumatic and life-threatening experiences that women go through that have left them carrying scars. So that's one of the things that we love to do, is to inspire women, again, to come out and to speak about what it is that they're going through.
Okay.
And with regards to myself, I'm a very private person, so I wasn't going to discuss cancer until it was over. Not for fear purposes, but privacy. God did not allow me to go through it privately. The minute I was diagnosed, it got out like wildfire. So then I said, I'm going to determine what information is released. I'm going to come out the closet full force. When I was bald, and I still am, I did not wear a wig. I wanted everybody to see, and I, on my Facebook page, have every single thing that I'm going through. The chemotherapy bag, you see a picture of it. My bald head, everyone saw that, because what I felt, I'm coming out for everybody, not just Yvette. I'm coming out for the people, the women who are embarrassed about being bald. I'm coming out for the individuals who are embarrassed or don't want people to know that they have cancer. I'm coming out for them, and I'm standing up, not just for myself, but for them as well. So they can know it's okay that you have cancer, but cancer doesn't have to have you. And if you're hiding because you're afraid, you know, I'm gonna let you know it's okay to share your story. You may not wanna go out without your wig on, but you know what, I'm going out for you. And I'm gonna stand up for you as well. And I'm gonna be the voice for you. Because the bottom line is we're all impacted by cancer, whether we have it personally or not. And we wanna show them, listen, I'm fabulous with cancer. You would not know that I had it. And today, I'm wearing a port. My port is under the skin, and they put the chemotherapy through there. I did not mind that it's going to be seen on television, because that's another educational moment. Sure. This is what it is. This is how I get chemo. I had chemotherapy yesterday for 5 hours. I don't look like I'm dying. And that's the other reason why it's important that, for the program Cassandra has and what I'm doing, these are the options that we have. For me, the option was chemo or death. But everybody doesn't have that as an option. They don't know why people don't want to get chemo. They think, like I thought, that maybe it hurts, because we're ignorant of certain things until you have to go through it. Right. That's why, by choice, I'm putting every single thing that I'm going through, because when the next person, unfortunately, has to go through it, they remembered how it impacted me. And I always have different people telling me, Yvette, you inspire me. And I call us warriors, because we're going through a battle. Yes. But we are warriors going through it.
So it's interesting, as I think of 3 words and now 4 words that come to mind, you know, as I'm sitting here with these extraordinarily beautiful women who've gone through and have faced their challenges and either beat cancer or in the process of beating cancer. You know, when I think of words like courage, when I think of words like resilient, you know, you talked about being a warrior. These are the things that it's important that women understand, that while you may be facing this illness in the privacy of what you define as your closet, it's okay to come out of that closet. And when you come out of that closet, you may run into some warriors who've also fought the same battle that you're currently fighting. And you'll be surprised the assistance that you too can have on the front lines. That's right. So let me talk about this. We talk about women and we talk about cancer. How important is it? Let's talk about, since my program is Man Answers Television, how important is it to have the men behind the scenes and the families behind the scenes? The men can be husbands, significant others, brothers, sons, fathers. Let's talk about how important that support is as you're going through this battle. How important was it for each of you?
I think it's very important to have your family, most of all, and friends supporting you. A lot of people don't have the support that they should have or need to have. For instance, I'm in touch with a young lady who has gone through the same process with breast cancer, and she has a homeless shelter philanthropic interest that she's focusing on right now, due to the fact that when she was going through, she didn't have anyone in any kind of support. And so some people took her into their homes and they nurtured her and, you know, supported her while she went through the process of chemotherapy and, you know, recovering. So it's very important that we have that support, and it's just vital. It's vital.
With regards to the male piece, and long story short, I was also going to Temple University when I was diagnosed. I was getting an LLM in trial advocacy, and towards the end of the program is when I got deathly ill. Okay. My BFF is a classmate who was willing to, because our graduation was in May. Okay. He was going to forego going to graduation and sit in the hospital with me. Wow. why, I mean, this is not our first graduation. We're already attorneys. This is beyond our law degree. But he was going to sit in that hospital because he said it's no fun sitting in the hospital while we're graduating. So I thought that was awesome. But it's my sister, I was in the hospital for 30 days while I was battling cancer. My sister stayed there the entire 30 days, slept there, did not leave. It is critical to have support.
Yes.
I have a 20-year-old daughter and a 3 and almost 1-year-old almost 2-year-old grandson. They were not allowed to come to the hospital because they were sick. And then I had a white blood cell issue at one point. So when you have people around you, I don't care if it's man, woman, child, it helps you get through the process better. But the men that did play a role, my doctors, I mean, they were compassionate and caring individuals. The people that God sends to be in your corner at the time, it's invaluable because it makes you feel better about what you're going through.
That's outstanding. So courage, resiliency, warrior spirit, and family. It sounds like that's a winning formula for anyone who's going through the challenge of trying to beat a cancer diagnosis. As we're running out of time, I want to take a moment to have each one of you talk about your organizations and talk about how people can get in contact with you, with your various websites, telephone numbers. Let me start with Ms. Yvette Sokolov. How can people learn more about the Pink Pamper parties and the Pink campaign?
Well, first and foremost, they can email me. My email address is ysoklove@comcast.net. That's my first initial, last name. They can also, I have a Facebook page that they can certainly come to because that's where I post all those pictures, and it's Yvette Crockett Sokolov on Facebook.
Okay.
I have a website for my law practice, but it also mentions the Pink Pamper Party. And the other thing as an attorney, and I want to make sure I mention this, because of the experience that I've gone through at the hospital, each year I'm going to donate my legal services, which would be creating powers of attorney and also wills.
That's fantastic.
Because I believe that you have to give back.
That's a partnership.
Amen.
Exactly. So they can come to my website as well, which is www.yvettesokolovlaw.com. The other thing is, with regards to how people can partner with us, these Pink Pamper parties are free. We don't charge anybody for anything because we want them to feel good about themselves, even if it's an hour or two. So we're not asking the women that come there that have cancer, we're not asking for a dime. If someone wants to donate anything to this organization, they can contact me because we're giving the women flowers. We're going to give them a rose or a carnation that's pink. We're decorating everything pink and fabulous. Now that isn't free, but it does not cost the women anything. So if anyone who wants to donate flowers, balloons, or finances, certainly we would be willing to take it and accept it and acknowledge them as well. So that's the other thing. And we're also looking for women because right now it's in New Jersey. We're working our way to Philly in terms of these Pink Pamper parties.
Okay.
So if there are women who are watching this program, if you have cancer and you want to participate in the Pink Pamper party, by all means call me, give me your number, and then I'll register you because you have to pre-register.
Okay. All right, Ms. Tyndale?
Yes, you can contact us at www.Women's with a Z Straight Talk Network. And you can also call us at STR, that's 1-844-STR, talk.com.
All right. Well, I think we're out of time, so I want to thank our guests today, Ms. Yvette Sokolov and Ms. Cassandra Cassie Tyndale,
Yes.
for educating us on their personal challenges and struggles in beating cancer, as well as informing our listeners. As our listeners listen to the program today, walk away with one word: courageous. These are courageous women who are now taking their stories and looking to empower women within their respective communities and beyond, focusing on overcoming and beating the, at times, deadly diagnosis of cancer. Thank you very much. It was my pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For joining us here on Man Answers Television on the NASCA Network.
The game's got a new face. Get used to me, cause I ain't going nowhere for a while. I'm here. I've been down in the game for so long, it's time to come up. Now I feel like you want it with nuts, man. It's whatever, who's better, who's clever. If you the head in charge, then it's you I sever. If you knew how hard it was to make it, a real nigga surrounded by all this fakeness. This hip-hop race is all about pacing, just to be placed with those of greatness. I think I earned my spot here. Been blackballed and hated on because they got scared. Knowing once I blow, it's straight to the top tier. You can't compare me to any of my peers. On the contrary, the way I spit is not fair. A talent like mine is hard to find and kinda rare. I don't care, call me cocky, homie, but I'm 2 thumbs up like I'm Fonzie, homie. Hey. Let's get one thing clear. I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying right here. 3 years is my year. Why? I'm built to last. What? I'm built to last. Yeah, I'm built to last. Come on, I'm built to last. What? I'm built to last. Yeah, I'm built to last. Come on, I'm built to last. I'm built to last. It's official. Y'all cats is artificial, and y'all played out like saying for shizzle. Plus, y'all ain't never been through what I've been through. Not being let in opportunities window. To being doubted by some of your closest kinfolks. That's right. No hometown love, no radio spin you. To crooked promoters that's trying to pimp you. Yeah, I done seen my fair share of issues. Friends that turn their backs on you in a heartbeat. That's why when I'm on tracks, I let my heart speak. Yes, I always strive to be the best. That's why I had to grind and outwork the rest. I come from a state that always getting slept on. Now anyone in my ways getting stepped on. My experience humble my pride. I hope the game is ready now, cause I arrived, nigga. Let's get one thing clear. I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying right here. 3 years is my year. Why? I'm built to last. What? I'm built to last. Yeah, I'm built to last. Come on, I'm built to last. What? I'm built to last. Yeah, I'm built to last. Come on, I'm built to last. I'm built to last. Been through the storm, been through the war, been through the scars, been through it all, but I'm right here. Seen many win, seen many lose, seen many balls, seen them fall, but I'm still right here. Yeah, your boy's in it for the long run. From winter to autumn, I'm so awesome. Competition, you can tell them all to come and watch them get eliminated one by one. I'm built to last like the best dynasties. Franchise for your team, you can find in me. My performance to move the fans out they